Hey there, Christopher L. here. Listen, in one of my recent videos, one of the commenters hit me with this quick and easy question, and that is, would the world be better without religion? And he asked me to explain my position. Now, I don't want to do this at 500 characters per comment, so I'm going to make a video about it. Would the world be better without religion? You know, I think back to John Lennon's song, Imagine.
Imagine all the people.
And it does sound all great, doesn't it? Everybody gets along. There's nothing to disagree about because we all agree there is no God. If there's no religion, there's no God. And then we can just be human beings, right? That sounds a little too simplistic, and it is. And as much as I respect John Lennon's legacy, I think that was one of the dumbest things he ever said. Don't get me wrong, when John was with Paul, I thought they made a great team and they made some of the most fantastic music we've seen in the 20th century. However, I don't think John Lennon on his own was exactly the brightest crayon in the box. You see, religion, in many ways, is like a spiritual tonsil. You know, our tonsils, they catch germs and whatnot and keep them from getting in our lungs. And when we get tonsillitis or strep throat, just imagine if your tonsils weren't there and it was able to get into your lungs without any blockade. Well, if not for religion, where would these people who are televangelists or Muslim clerics or any of these spiritual, metaphysical wannabes who charge to teach their students about the Lord or about the way or about how to contact the universe, where would they go? I think you'd find them in leadership. I think you'd then have more whack jobs vying for our votes and trying to run the system. Religion hosts a lot of hypocrites, and without it, they're going to be more involved in the secular system. And if you think these guys mess up in a religious system, how do you think they'd do running a country? Don't be mistaken in thinking that they wouldn't be able to get into leadership, because one of the reasons they're able to run their cults is because they're so darn charismatic. They're able to woo people into their state of mind. And so yeah, you get rid of religion, and all of a sudden you've got a bunch of whack jobs who have nothing better to do because you've taken away their livelihood. You've taken away their game. But beyond that, religions, for the most part, all seem to have their peaceful aspects, and there are those adherents who are quite peaceful. And if you take away religions, you're going to lose those people who live to help others. Now, we can assume they just go into charities, but we don't know that. The bottom line is, mankind at his best still falls far short. But that brings me back to my own personal religion, that is Christianity. Do I think the world would be better off without Christianity? That's a toughie, because I can separate God from religion, and have. I've been part of a home church since Easter of this last year, because I rejected the religiosity of the church that I was in, because I rejected the false doctrines and the wranglings for money, because I turned my back on the greed that I saw forming. However, you can take away the rituals, you can take away the holidays, and I'm still left with a faith in my God, because I see him beyond all that stuff. I see him in my real world, my real life. I see him working in the families around me. I see him touching my friends. And though I don't always have a clear understanding through it all, I have a faith, because I know time and time again, he has always worked it for his will. What would my world be like without religion? I don't know. I can't tell you. So, do I think the world would be better off without religion? Absolutely not. I think religion serves all mankind because mankind all knows there's something greater than us. With the exception of the atheists, of course. Forgive me. That's your whole gig. But the vast majority of mankind throughout history has believed in something greater than them. I just happen to believe that Jesus Christ is the way. There are those who would dispute it. There are those who would say Jesus Christ was nothing but a prophet. There are those that would say that Jesus didn't even exist. But it works for me, and I know it's true. Some of the things we hear about, they're just despicable. Abominations of mankind. But that isn't the religion's fault. That's the fault of men within the religion who have perverted it to use it for their own agenda. Here in America, we kind of have an example of what happens as we make religion irrelevant. The more we take God out of our system, the more society reflects that. Now, if you are an atheist and you think a world without a God is better, then I'm sure you see these changes in society as being a good thing. I'm sure you don't have a problem with a lot of what's happening. But from the other side of the fence, as a Christian who has seen God taken out of the public eye more and more, I can honestly say that I think things have gotten progressively worse. So when you ask the question, would the world be a better place without religion? Look at our country. Do you think it was better now or 100 years ago, 200 years ago? But to determine whether or not something is better, we'd have to have a standard baseline. Yours might be the economy or some sort of social issue that was addressed over the last 200 years. Sexism, racism. For me, though, I'd look more at the moral content. Now, that's not to say that there weren't perverts in society. There's been perverts in every society. Molesters, rapists, all sorts of sickos. But I don't think that we've ever had a time like mankind's going through right now with all the social media and technological advances. And God is slowly being taken away. Do you really think people's hearts are in the right place? Do you think they're doing the right things? It's worth asking, because I think we're a lot worse than we were a few centuries ago. But while this is my point of view, I know that religion to some means a lot. And without it, they can't maintain their faith. Without fellowship, they wither. And that's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, it's a good idea to have support, backup, guidance, mentorship. And, as a matter of fact, being Christian, we're told not to begrudge the meeting of the brothers, to meet with each other and join in those relationships, because that's the life God really wants for us, to have fellowship. Could they get a similar sense of camaraderie in their local knitting club or perhaps a chess club? Some would say yes. I would say no. Well, until next time, happy Jesus Day. God bless and peace out.